Well, let's talk about football. So your football parodies have been some of the best parts of the football season for like the past 5 years or so.
Mhm.
How did the idea for your original Alabama football fan parody come about?
That I really didn't have a formula. I just wanted to document how I was feeling that day. You'd actually have to go back to the 2015 season before the video started. I was doing um, like other little videos about Bama. I think if Bama had like a loss or something, I would do a little video. And then by 2016, I was like, I want to do something more steady this time. But I didn't know what I wanted to do. I just said, I don't want to wait until they lose a game and
Yeah.
then make a video. So I was literally in Nashville with my iPhone at the hotel. I propped it up on a bottled water and just recorded myself reacting to the games, and it got like 3 million views. And I didn't know what was going on. It's like, huh? I thought I was making it for my Facebook friends. And now I got about 500,000 more Facebook friends. So even after the first one, I didn't know it was a thing. The second one, um, it did well. And then the third one, I'm like, okay, this is something now. Like, okay, what what do I do? So my advice to myself was, man, just keep being yourself. Just don't overthink it. Just keep being yourself. That's apparently what got them here.
So what do you think makes football different in the South and Alabama in particular?
Oh, that's a good question. I think it's a few factors. Number one, we've always just been better than other regions at it. We really understand it as a science, as a business, as a game. We're just ahead of everybody. This is
Yeah.
college football is just what we do good in the South, you
Well, and
know?
I also think the lack of a pro team then
Mhm.
allows that energy to be focused towards the college team.
Well, I think a professional team could make it here. Most recently I remember the Birmingham Iron, I remember the
Mhm.
Barracudas, I remember the Stallions, the Americans. The key is winning. It could be anything as long as there's winning involved. Football has just been the thing that we've been, good at. If we had, you know, created professional badminton players, I'm pretty sure we follow badminton. But we love to win. Now that we've got the feeling of what it means to be a champion and to be the best at something, we don't want to relinquish that. So, the culture is we're not going to settle for mediocrity when possible.
So last season, be honest,
Mhm.
beginning of the season, no Tua. Did you
Right.
think Alabama was going to steamroll its way to another title?
I've said this many times on social media. I did in no way, shape, or form thought that the 2020 version of Alabama would be better than the 2019 version, even though the 2019 version, came up short of a national championship, or they didn't even make it to the playoffs. So I didn't think they were going to be better, but never doubt this talent that we have on this team, and never doubt Coach Saban. These kids were locked in, and I've made the case recently that I believe, top to bottom, this was the best team of the Saban era. And I'm talking about the 2020 team. A lot of people say pump your
That's a
brakes. Well,
that's a
what
bold
about
statement. Yeah.
what about 2009? What about 2016? I said, well, when you think about the distractions that come with being a player at Alabama, it's like you said, losing all the talent that you lost, COVID, being in the middle of a pandemic, it was so easy for these kids to, number one, just dial it in and lose focus.
Hunker down
They
and
were
focus.
locked
Yeah.
in.
So what would you say surprised you the most about last season?
Devontae. Devontae Smith, he was unstoppable. I mean, he started up here. We first heard of him in national championship game, and when he caught the pass from Tua, and you think, wow, that's a great catch. Good job, kid. Maybe they weren't checking him because they didn't know what he was capable of, but I think he got sent on that route because the people that practice with him every day was like, listen, he's the guy. And Tua threw that ball to him with the utmost confidence, so they knew a lot more than we knew. I think Saban put Tua into that game because he had the utmost confidence in him. But just to see what he did to these future pros at LSU and at Auburn and Texas A&M, he just could not be stopped. He looked amazing.
A lot's gone on in the football world since the end of the 2020 football season. One hot topic has been the changes to the name, image, and likeness laws governing college football. What are your thoughts on that?
I love it. I love it. I was a vocal proponent of it for a long time. I think it's only right for these kids to get their just due, and they're still not getting everything that they're worth. They may not get every single penny that they're worth, but they generate billions and millions of dollars for college football overall. And people were making an argument like, hey, well, they get scholarships and books. I said, hey, man, I know plenty of people on scholarship that don't have to have their bodies torn apart like that to earn a scholarship. Let those guys make some money and take care of their families.
Do you see it affecting the game in any way? I mean, do you think there are certain teams that will especially benefit from this? And are there some teams that will definitely be hurt by it?
I think that college football will adapt. Keep in mind, there was a time where they thought adding face masks was going to kill the game. There was a time when they thought adding more minutes to the quarter was going to kill the game. There was a time when they thought integration was going to kill the game. There was a time when they thought conference championships would be the end of the game. They thought the playoffs would be the end of college football. Adapts because we love college football, and we'll figure it out sooner than later.
So another massive development, the talks and inclusion of Texas and Oklahoma into the SEC in the coming years. What are your thoughts on that?
I didn't think it was going to happen. I really didn't. But now that it's almost all said and done, I mean, you got to look past what us mere mortals are thinking that a conference could be. The SEC, to me, has bigger plans. I think my personal thought is that they eventually want to become their own governing body.
So let's talk about Alabama's team this year. No Mac Jones, right. No Smith, Waddle. Two big holes to fill in the O-line.
Right.
What are the stories you're most excited to follow with this year's team?
This year, for me, all eyes are on the defense. Everybody, we haven't had I would say, an elite defense in a few seasons. But all accounts out of Tuscaloosa is that, with Malachi Moore leading the way, with DJ Dale and those guys on the front seven, got some of our good linebackers back. I'm excited about having an elite defense again. So that's what I'll be watching. With offense, maybe this is just a little too cocky, but I don't worry about the offense like I used to. We've recruited well. We got some great weapons coming back. So I don't want to get too cocky, but I'm not worried about them. My eyes will be locked in on the defense and then seeing if the special teams, particularly the kicking game, can keep their momentum going.
Yeah, do we want to talk about the Alabama kicking game?
Sure, let's go. I mean, I got wood right here and knocked on it, but he didn't miss a kick last year, man. 100%.
So, what is your way too early prediction for the CFP finalist season? You got one?
Oh man, right now it's probably for my 4 picks, right? I probably have to go with the usual suspects. Unfortunately, I don't see any surprises. Bama, Clemson, Ohio State, maybe Oklahoma. Yeah, I know there's nothing exciting about that, but
So, well, let's talk about COVID a little bit.
Sure.
You had, I noticed that you also had another show that you were putting out. And tell us a little bit about that, and how has COVID impacted your ability to do that?
Yeah, it's been a challenge. A lot of people still are not confident enough to come out of the house and just be around a big group of people. We still got a lot of comedy clubs and venues that are taking a lot of precautions, and I'm all about precautions myself. So I definitely understand.
Well, let's talk about how people can follow you and people can watch some of these other projects that you've done.
Well, I made it very simple for everybody. I got the same name on all social media. So this is your time. You drop a nice little lower third right there. Thank you, editor. So it's at Funnymaine. That's my handle on any social media that I'm on, and the website is funnymaine.com. Maine is spelled just like the state. It's derived from my name, Jermaine. So you can go to funnymaine.com and get all the social media links.
Now, have you got anything that's planned for the future?
It's just all about helping people have a good time. We're going to talk some college football, of course, but then it's also just little silly stuff, man, to help people take their mind off of everything they're seeing on the news, everything that's just going on in the world with the pandemic.
And the season's ramping up, so you'll be back to doing the parody videos in no time, huh?
Absolutely. Yeah, I wouldn't have it any other way. And I know the people that follow me, if I don't post a video, man, they get upset. So I will definitely be ready.
Well, I appreciate you being on so much. Ladies and gentlemen, Jermaine Funnymaine Johnson.
Hey, David, thank you so much for having me. Blessings to you and your show moving forward, man. This was excellent. Thank you.